Alright, today I want to try something with something I got from a buddy. He runs a fireplace that has these pellets for his fireplace. They're wood pellets that he runs his fireplace all winter, and he buys them by the tons. I mean, he gets 2 pallets of these things, probably 4,000 pounds worth of stuff in the bag. The bags are probably 50-pound bags, and he just hauls them all into his garage and keeps them there all winter. And that's all he uses to heat his house. But I want to try and see how they work in my fruit stove, which is a soup can and a soup can. I think I've seen this done before. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together. I have my windshields on just one side there. I don't have any wind today, really. It's really quiet out, but we're going to adjust as necessary. And you see I've used this once before. It's all burned out there. So the next thing I do is I drop this in. Actually, this goes in from the bottom, excuse me. And I need to JB weld or something that thing in there so it doesn't drop out. Then I put this in the center. This is what I kind of like to think is my airflow. It lets air travel clean up through the center without any blockage. So I'll put that in the center and then drop these around it and not in it. Now some will get in there, but for the most part they just kind of get out of there. A few will get in there, and hopefully not too many that'll clog up the bottom. Actually, I think to do this I'm going to take my top off. Yes, that didn't work so well. So I'm going to do it like this. Pour them things in. And what I'm going to do is, once I fill it up with a few of these things, I'm going to not pull that out. Alright, well, that's plan B. We're going to pour something back in there. Get ourselves a center hole here. Well, they fall out the holes pretty easily. That's different than sticks, obviously. Have them build around it then. I don't think it's going to help much because they're falling through the crevices of that. It's just too small pieces and too big of gaps on that thing. So that's not going to help much to keep the airflow out. But we're going to try it anyway. See if we can keep some airflow going through the center, because these things will tend to, what I believe is, what I've heard is they clog up the center hole, clog up all the airflow coming from the bottom. And that's not what we want. We want air flowing through the bottom to the top. A tube would probably be better for the circumstance of these things, because they're literally falling through there sometimes. It's pretty good staying out of there, but... And I wonder how many of these I would need to boil some water. Now, I know they're going to be up kind of high, and this is a pretty tall thing, or else the flames just won't get up there. And I've seen where people use these with a gel. I don't know what we missed exactly. My memory card filled up and I had to just dump it off. So basically I was filling this up and leaving a hole in the center for the air to flow up from the bottom. Now I'm going to take and put the fruit back together. This kind of wedges up in here. It's not real tight, so it will fall out probably. Yeah, it's not going to stay up in that little thing. But it only falls down to the level of this if it does fall down. But that will kill the airflow. So, now I'm going to take, throw my lighter, and add some alcohol. A couple of good squirts around the thing. I want to see how this does compared to an alcohol stove. Get my lighter out. See if I have this lighter, I guess. Works just as well. And get down in there. Ooh, that shut up. And it did knock the stove loose, so that's not going to be a good test for it when I put it back together. I don't think it's going to stay there. Oh, it's hard to tell with these things because they are alcohol based, so they, with that alcohol. Playing with fire here. Okay, move that out the way. I got 2 cups of water. That's my lid for closing it. I'm going to get my alcohol off here for now, just to see if those things catch. And bring you over a little bit closer so you can see what's going on here. It literally is just too bright out to see the flame right now. But when it catches it, you'll see it. There it goes. And with the nature of this stove, I should be able to put the pot on immediately. So I'm going to put the pot on and then I'm going to time it and see what happens. I'm going to put this down for you guys. Go ahead and slide my 2 gallons of water on there right now. Or 2 cups of water, not 2 gallons. That would be an awful small pot for 2 gallons of water. And I'm going to time it here. 1:56. So I started. 1:56 on my clock there. 1:56 seconds. I'm keeping a track of it on the clock on the camera. And just let that go and see how long it takes to get that to a boil. And I'm just showing off there in the background a little bit. I've gotten rather lucky with the Heineken pots. I found 3 the other day and found 4 more the other day after that. So now I have 7 unused, untouched Heineken pots that I can use for camping trips and such forth. Pretty excited about that since they stopped making those. And I also am showing off my local native beer can bottles there. I got these from a buddy of mine. He was going to throw them away. I said, oh no, I can make stoves out of those things. But I haven't yet because, you know, I'm St. Louis and they have the cool Cardinals logo on there, so I just haven't done anything with them yet. I'll probably at some point cut them up and make stoves out of them, but I got about 5 of them. You know, eventually I'll make some kind of stove like this out of them. But for now, they look cool on my table, so I'm keeping them. Alright, we're going to let that go for a minute here and see what we have. For all you stove guys that watch my stove videos, I want to show you one of my other hobbies here real quick, just to show you what I'm doing here. I do brew beer, and this is one of my brewing beer demonstrations that I'm working on. I thought about posting some of these on YouTube, so if you start seeing some beer brewing demos on YouTube, that's because I enjoy doing beer brewing as much as I enjoy doing stove building. Today we're doing a Munich dark lager, and this is one of my smaller brewing setups here. Not much of a setup really, it's just my boil kettle. I have some pretty big equipment that I use for this. I'm going to be doing another one in September here for a festival of brewing demonstration to show people how to brew their beer at home. So I'll be getting some videos of that and posting them as well. So if you see some beer brewing demonstrations on my website, on my YouTube site, that's what I'm doing. I'm just getting some of those together. But for all you stove guys, back to this video over here to see what's going on. We got a pretty good flame there. I mean, that's burning good. It's not burning out. It's staying lit. I do have a lot of wind. A windscreen would make all the difference in the world here, I think, maybe. And I wouldn't say I have pretty good wind. I have light wind. I'll give you a demonstration of what kind of wind I'm talking about. You're seeing that blow that much? And you can see the leaves are just barely moving. Just light wind out here. Hardly any wind at all. So, we're going to let that go and see where it gets to. And I'll let you know how it turns out. Just real quick, I'm going to see what I have here. Make sure I don't have a boil or anything. Nope, nothing yet. So, we'll talk to you later. I'm going to keep track of the time here and let you know. Alright, so it's been burning for a while. And we've had a steady flame like this with a little bit of wind flickering it away from the pot for a while now. And we're just starting to come to a boil, and it's been 12 minutes. So I'm going to let it go, but I'm not going to let the camera continue to run. It's been doing the same thing with the wind coming and going a little bit here, just blowing it off to the side. The 12 minutes is a long time for a boil. We'll let it go, and that's been a steady flame though. Alright, be back in a minute. Alright, finally at, let's see, it's 17 minutes. I got my boil. Well, as you can see, it comes back and goes away as the flame addresses the bottom of the pot. So flame comes, wind comes, it blows it away. So it doesn't hold a steady boil until the flame sits on the bottom of the pot, and then it stays there. And me taking the lid off probably didn't help. But when the flame is pretty steady underneath the pot, and I'll show you here by holding so a windscreen would greatly improve this setup. But I'm going to go ahead and let it flame out here just to get an idea how long this will burn for. And actually I'm going to take the pot off to a boil. It can't do much more than that. Just to show you guys from a top view what actually is going on down inside there. I only have about a minute left here, so pretty clean forward. burn. So that'll probably burn for 20 minutes, I would imagine. Alright. We'll put up another video later. Bye. Alright, this went for about 25 to 30 minutes here. I would say I wasn't keeping keep track of it, but I have a clock, I know. And it's still got low heat. I don't want to get my camera down in there because of that too much, but I want to show you. There's still a glow down in there. And I'm going to see what happens if I just let it go. You can see how the ashes are starting to fall down in. I really don't want to get too much hotness on my camera here. But it's starting to fall down in there a little bit. I don't know if I can zoom in there. There we go. You can see it's all just starting to fall down in and cave in. But it took a long time to get it to do 2 cups of water. I mean, it took 15 minutes to get 2 cups of water to a boil. So it's not the way to go, obviously. And it's all just almost all ashes. I'm gonna just knock that there, let it burn out. I use about a half a bag of these. You know, that'd be a lot to carry. If you were doing this at home or for fun, half a bag of these, no big deal. It doesn't cost anything either. But for a camping trip, I just don't think so. If you're going in the car and you're carrying them along, great. But I think if I was going in the car and carrying them along, I'd want a bigger pot, a bigger cooking surface. But interesting idea, neat to try. I'll let it burn down and close this video out in a minute here.